The race is on. Could Reform UK, led by Nigel Farage, be about to beat the Conservatives, a party that's been around for almost 2 centuries when it comes to their membership? Hello, I'm Emily Carver, and this is the GB News YouTube channel. Reform UK has launched a live membership ticker on their website as they count down to having more members than the Tories. The Conservatives currently have 131,680 members, and last time I checked, Reform has reached 120,365. It's a very, very close race. It does look like it's only a matter of time before Reform UK's membership exceeds that of the Conservatives, and what a milestone that would be for the youthful party. So, how did we get here? The rise of Reform UK. Reform UK is a relatively young party, far younger than the Conservatives, that's for sure. Founded in 2021, it was a relaunch of the Brexit Party. And it's since attracted several high-profile defectors from the Conservative Party, most notably Lee Anderson, who became Reform UK's first MP in March 2024. Now, the party rebranded as Reform in 2021 following the departure from the European Union. Now, this makes Reform UK just over 5 years old as of 2024, a remarkably short time in which it's managed to gain significant political traction. So, could it be the new Conservative Party? It's not a direct offshoot of the Conservative Party, but Reform UK has certainly positioned itself as an alternative for disillusioned Conservative voters. The party's benefited from the internal struggles, perceived failures of the Conservative government, particularly on issues like Brexit, immigration, and economic management. This has led to a significant swing of voters from the Conservatives to the Reform Party, culminating in Reform winning 5 parliamentary seats in the 2024 general election, finishing way ahead of the Tories in some constituencies. Even the waspy women are now reportedly turning to Reform after being let down by Labour and the Conservatives on the issue of compensation. Whether Reform would find the money in government remains to be seen, of course. The youth. Excitingly for the Reform team, the party has been making waves with a surge in youth membership. In an unprecedented move, the party's managed to attract 1,000 new young members in less than 48 hours. This comes on the heel of their new initiative offering discounted memberships of just £10 for those aged 25 and under. But what's driving this sudden interest from young voters? Well, let's break it down. A youth-focused strategy. Reform UK isn't just sitting back and hoping young people will come to them somehow. They're actively pursuing a youth-focused approach, taking cues from American politics. The party plans to utilise popular podcasts, new media to connect with younger generations of voters, and they love TikTok. This strategy stands in stark contrast to the more traditional methods employed by established parties. It does feel as though the Labour and Conservatives are a few steps behind. Membership milestone. It's not just young people joining the ranks. Reform UK has well passed the 100,000 member mark, and its ticker is gaining traction. This is a significant milestone for any political party, especially one that's relatively new to the scene. Whatever party you support, it's clear there is palpable enthusiasm for this new party. Electoral success. The party's appeal to young voters isn't just theoretical. We've seen it translate into real electoral success. Take, for example, 18-year-old Kieran Mishchuk, who recently won the Milton Regis ward in the Swale Borough Council by-election. Mishchuk secured 33.9% of the vote, becoming Reform UK's youngest councillor. This victory, with a reported 33-point swing away from Labour, is a clear indicator of the party's growing influence. Reform aren't just taking votes from disillusioned Conservatives, they're also eating into Labour's votes. So, the Conservative conundrum. While Reform UK is gaining ground with young voters, the Conservative Party seems to be facing quite the opposite problem. The average age of a Tory voter has now risen to 63. This is a dramatic shift from 2019, when the Conservative crossover age was just 39 under Boris Johnson's leadership. A lot can change. This ageing voter base presents a significant challenge for the Conservatives. Younger voters increasingly turning to parties like Reform. The Tories may find themselves struggling to maintain their electoral dominance, if they still have it. The gender gap. Interestingly, there's a notable gender divide in voting preferences among young people. Recent YouGov polling of 18 to 24-year-old voters revealed some rather intriguing trends. So young men were more likely to vote for Reform compared to their female counterparts, 12% v 6%. The same trend was seen for Conservative voting intentions, 10% v 6%. On the other hand, young women were almost twice as likely to vote for the Greens compared to young men, 23% versus 12%. Why is that? These figures suggest that Reform UK and the Conservatives are having much more success appealing to young male voters, while parties like the Greens are resonating with young women. It does seem as though young women are moving towards the left and progressive politics, while young men are shifting more conservatively. Well, looking ahead to the 2025 local elections. Now, Reform UK isn't resting on its laurels here. The party is already setting its sights on the 2025 local elections. 2,334 council wards are going to be up for grabs. These elections will include contests in all 5 current Reform MPs' constituencies, a particular focus on the east and southeast of England. Reform UK needs to do well here. This focus on local elections is a smart strategy from Reform. Local elections serve as a barometer for national political sentiment, often, and success at this level can build momentum for future general elections. Okay, well, financial backing and future prospects. Reform UK's future prospects could be further bolstered by significant financial backing. The party's new treasurer, Nick Candy, has suggested he could raise up to £40 million before the next general election. Also, reports that Elon Musk might contribute an additional $100 million, about £80 million. Although Nigel Farage has described this figure as for the birds, it's neither been confirmed nor denied. Regardless of the exact figures, it's clear Reform UK is attracting serious financial interest. This kind of backing could enhance the party's ability to campaign effectively, and it could massively extend its reach to even more voters. The Labour Party's concerns. It's not just the Conservatives who are worried about Reform's rise. The Labour Party is also growing increasingly concerned about their potential impact on their electoral prospects. Labour essentially fears that Reform UK could split the anti-Tory vote in key battleground seats, potentially allowing Conservative candidates to win with a reduced share of the vote. Particularly worrying for Labour in areas where they're hoping to make gains, such as the so-called Red Wall seats in the North and Midlands. The party is especially concerned about Reform UK's appeal to working class voters who may have traditionally supported Labour, don't want to vote for the Conservatives, but do see something in the Reform Party. There's a growing recognition within Labour that they need to do more to address the concerns of these voters if they want to prevent them from drifting towards Reform UK. But do they understand these voters anymore? In conclusion, the rise of Reform UK, particularly among young voters, is a development that's impossible to ignore. It represents such a shift in the UK's political landscape, one that's causing both the Conservatives and Labour to reassess their strategies. For the Conservatives, the challenge is clear. How do they appeal to younger voters without alienating their existing base? For Labour, the question is how to prevent Reform UK eating at their vote and also splitting the anti-Tory vote, potentially costing them crucial seats. As for Reform UK, their task now is to build on this momentum. If they do surpass the membership of the Conservatives in the next few days and weeks, that could be massive for their confidence going into the local elections. And could it all translate into a surge in youth membership? Could that translate into a sustained electoral success? Only time will tell. What's certain is that UK politics is entering a new and rather unpredictable phase. The rise of Reform, its appeal to young voters, could reshape the political landscape in ways we're only beginning to understand. It's striking that at the moment we have 3 parties neck and neck in the polling. As we look ahead to the 2025 local elections and beyond, one thing is clear. The battle for the hearts and minds of young voters is going to be fiercer than ever, and the outcome of that battle could well determine the future direction of UK politics. Let me know what you think. Do you think Reform UK will surpass the Conservatives when it comes to membership? And do you think more young people are going to be taken on board by the Reform message? This is Emily Carver signing off. Remember to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest political developments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.